Hey everyone, D-Dub Squizzy here, and welcome back to Icewind Dale. So I got the command console back, and I think all the problems have been solved. It was something about the whole Steam cloud syncing nonsense. Okay, so into the crypts we go. These crypts are nightmarish. So there's traps throughout some of the places. Most of the rooms don't have traps, and then some of the rooms have a lot of traps. It's kind of how it goes. Lots of secret doors. Lots of enemies, and some of the enemies in here are crypt things. For those who don't know what crypt things are, they're like an OG enemy. You rarely see them in any kind of actual D&D games. The shields are not worth anything, so don't take those, but the armor can be. They can kind of send you around the crypts where they make their homes. So there is a secret door up here. Easy way to check for secret doors. You just do that. Yeah, see, we know there's one there. We know there's one right over here somewhere. Also, you can see the area is pretty big. Packed full of bone guards.
Aye, it shall be done. Attack!
This thing is still really small. Don't like that.
Very well.
So there's bone guards, there's mummies. Some of them are greater mummies. I think there's a number of wights, a lot of crypt things, and then some ghosts and stuff. It's not a great time, I've got to be honest. Okay, so that's one, and there's one over here.
You can count on me.
All kinds of magical items. He still has a higher lore, right? Yeah. Probably just because of that intelligence boost that he got. Okay.
Aye.
So now we gotta start opening doors. There's one. Oh, those do not hurt it. Okay.
Surely. May I help?
He's not even trying to teleport us. Or did he? Did he teleport my paladin into this very room? That's kind of hilarious.
I stand ready. I am on it.
It looks like we'll have to go full melee on him. If missile weapons aren't going to do the trick. I remember this room. There's a bunch of stuff in this room. I'm just gonna drop some undead on him.
At your command.
Done.
Yep, that guy just... They're getting sent away, please. Oh, those are blast skeletons. A lot of them. Snowlocks won't hurt them. A fireball would.
Aye.
No.
Okay. Oh, that's why he's doing fire damage. He has the bow.
Ready.
I forgot about that.
You'll soon sleep with the dead.
Come on now. I should have the cosmetic attacks off. Yeah. I don't know why I still get them for some reason.
Duty calls.
Alright, so the tombs that we need are way over here. But you can't get to them unless you have 6 keys made from, like, the armor of all those fallen knights.
Will be done. Painless as possible.
Of course.
To victory.
Oh, cool, he could turn crypt things. I didn't think he'd be able to do that. If he could turn bone guards, too, we can really massacre this place.
me like an arrow.
How may I serve?
What now?
I shall see to
Hey,
it.
no worries.
Alright, there's the first key.
It will be done.
You can count on
Yeah,
me.
let's just have him go in there and
I
deal with
know
all of
mine.
this nonsense. Skeleton warriors. Oh, I forgot about this hallway. Let's see, can he turn them? Please.
It shall be
He
done.
cannot. I didn't think so. Skeleton warriors are really hard to turn.
I shall be swift about it.
They're also annoying. $8 plenty of time.
Not your will. Not your will. It will be done.
I think there are 2 hallways like this that are just a bunch of skeleton
Duty called.
warriors and not much else. They're magic resistant, so my mage is basically useless. They're annoyingly tough.
Your life is forfeit.
Aye.
It is a shame that we must resort to violence.
We can stun them somehow?
Very well.
I shall not fail.
My
He's-
enemies
he is
always
somewhere
bring out
else
the
now.
best in me.
Shall be done.
Alright, crypt things are immune to that.
Very well.
I shall be swift about it.
How can I help?
I am on it. Stand and deliver.
I shall not fail.
Alright, I didn't even hand these boots and stuff out, did I? Nah, he's already got boots. That guy doesn't. Come on, there we go.
I shall see to it.
It says there's combat going on
It
right
is a
now.
shame that we must resort to violence. I shall not fail.
Holy cow, we held him somehow.
I'll wash me beard in your blood. Duty
My
called.
enemies always bring out the best in me.
It shall be done. And it shall be done. You can count on
I'll
me.
make this as quick as I shall be swift about it.
I think there might be a second hallway on the other side of the tomb that's also like this one.
You can count on me.
Can't save it all because of that stupid crypt thing that's trying to attack my
My sword is yours.
shambling mound.
It shall to arms. It shall be done.
Yeah, I just can't. Okay, there we go. Alright, no one take a step in this
Good
room.
as gold.
If a room is deserted, that means it's trapped.
Good as gold.
Aye, it shall be done.
No worries.
Very well.
Here I go.
A revenant?
On my way.
I stand ready.
Oh, right, I forgot about that. Revenants don't stay dead unless you hit them with fire.
Understood.
Or something like that. Doesn't someone out here have a fire weapon? We had a fire flail, but I think we sold it. And I didn't keep around that flaming long sword. Oh well.
Aye.
Is that all?
Well, that thing's gonna die.
Your command.
Yeah, it's got a 25% chance. Okay, so he can't go in. He's kind of done exploring.
Aye.
At least my paladin or fighter weren't launched in here. Great.
My enemies all make me want the best.
Die.
Move just far enough away that it's going to be inconvenient to kill him.
Done. Of course.
It shall be done.
What would you have of me? Yes.
Hold on a second.
Gladly.
Let me try something.
I
Maybe I don't need to hit them with something like that. No, you can't turn them. Never mind.
I shall see to it.
I will assist you in any way possible.
Here I go.
Does that actually mark the keys? It does, interestingly enough. And I don't think any of those are trapped.
You can count on me.
A small silver plaque. So if you don't have the silver key, which I think I do, right? No, I have electrum, I got platinum. Neither of those are silver. So I can't open that.
I shall see to it.
This is another trap room.
So that's how it is.
Most of the trap rooms have this common look to them, but all of them don't. Like, I think down here looks pretty much the same, but it's not a trap room. This place here is. Pretty sure it is. Maybe it is not. I might be thinking of a different one.
Victory. Joe. Not a problem.
Oh, right, actually.
I don't mind. It will be done.
That door is open. Okay.
Very well.
Greater mummies. Okay, a greater mummy.
Aye. It shall be done.
Get in there and start turning. Tear that thing to pieces. Everyone, please. Whoa!
Not show.
Yeah, I've sorely underestimated how strong my paladin's turning is.
No worries.
It shall be done.
He just took out all those mummies in one round.
Me? Good as gold.
Aye.
Let's see what he can do with this. Oh,
Not a problem. Need it? Anytime.
Aye.
have anything else that's like area effect fire? Doesn't look like it.
Ready.
And try a Shroud of Flame. That should hurt him in like, there we go. And do we have the right key to open this?
Aye.
We do not.
I shall see to it.
So there are 6 doors. You don't need to use the keys on those 6 doors in particular, but you need all the keys in order to get to where the knights are buried, so we're going to have to go back around the other way. But I gotta wait for my cleric to get unstunned. Okay, so my paladin can turn pretty effectively. Something to... Is that my shambling
You
mound?
can count on me.
I'll just send my cleric over once he gets there. Looks like it is. No, maybe not.
I can do it.
There's something else walking around down there. Oh, right. I forgot about them.
Very well.
I just accidentally turned some of my own skeletons. Yep, you can turn your own stuff, alright.
It will be done.
Duty calls. I stand ready. I am on it.
Just another door room? Yeah. Nothing else in here, it's kind of weird.
Forward.
Aye.
Ah, this is a trap
Not a
room.
problem.
You can count on me.
No worries.
Very well.
This was much more devious back in the day before quick loot was a function, because I can grab it from here with no repercussions at all. But I prefer to disable the traps anyway. When I go through a dungeon, I don't like to leave anything undone. Every door gets opened, every monster gets killed, every trap gets disabled, and every piece of loot gets taken. That's at least my preference when it comes to these sorts of things. Oh, it's quite a bit of money.
Aye. At your command. My sword is yours. I am on it.
Surely.
I stand ready. Very well. I am on it. Duty calls.
Alright, so we're making pretty good progress. I think I've got a little more than half of the dungeon finished. And there's no big boss fight or anything in here, it's just a lot of undead. Oh boy.
I don't mind.
Oh, I think if you turn the blast skeletons, they don't actually go off. Oh, they are hard to turn. That thing is still alive. Oh boy.
May I help?
Of course.
Surely.
Aye. Aye. It shall be done.
It will be done. Easy as goblin pie.
I am on it.
I can do it.
Okay, that's all of them.
Duty calls.
So here's all 6 doors. Bronze, copper, silver, and then I think gold, electrum, and platinum. Which means I could probably open all 3 of those upper ones. Yeah. And I might have to anyway, but I'd prefer to go through all the secret doors when I have a chance to as well.
It shall be done.
Oh, that one got me.
I shall see to it.
Of course.
Attack!
It is a shame that we must resort to violence.
I am on it.
What now?
You can count on me.
I think this is an illusory wall. Yeah. More blast skeletons.
No trouble at all.
You see the wall kind of like shifting as you step through it.
Aye.
Of course.
Alright, and I don't think there's a secret door there. This is just another one of the keys. So all 3 of the areas up at the top, or all 3 of those doors, must all lead to the same places, basically.
It shall be done.
Well, there he goes.
I shall see to it.
Actually, no, I can't get through any of these, can I? Actually, yeah, I can. I can now, at least.
I can do it. How How may I best serve? No trouble at all.
Let's see if he can exorcise ghosts. I think these ghosts drain your levels too if they manage to hit you. Alright, doesn't look like he can.
Sleep with the dead.
Is that all? I will assist you in any way possible.
Like an arrow.
At your command, you can count on me. I shall see to it. Duty called.
May I? Gladly.
My sword is. I am on. I shall see to it. Very well. It shall be done.
No trouble at all.
Very well.
Of course.
That all that was in there? Yeah, they had a secret door just full of
It
whites
shall
and a
be
crypt
done.
thing. Not even any loot. That's kind of weird.
Duty calls.
Now it's a trap room. I should have known.
So that's how it is.
Is there any, like, secret doors or anything in here? There are.
Very well.
Yeah. Done.
How may I best serve?
See to it. I stand ready. I shall see to it.
Half the loot is mine.
Very well. Duty calls.
Oh, we got some
Very well.
jellies now.
Surely.
At your command, I am on it.
I don't mind.
This looks like another room of traps.
Me? Done.
Before I start sending people in, I want to make sure.
I don't
What
mind.
now? Like an arrow.
I'm not tripping anything or detecting it, so looks like it isn't.
I shall be swift about it.
My sword is yours. I am on it. You can count on me.
Surely.
I am on it.
It is a shame that we must resort to violence.
I am on it. I shall see to it. I am on it. I stand ready. Very well. I am on it.
Your life is full.
It will be done.
Eh?
I am on it.
I shall not fail.
My enemies always bring out the best in me.
I.
There we go. A little bit inconvenient.
I am on it.
Hope that's all of them. It wasn't.
I.
It will be done.
Let's go to work. What would you have of me?
I can make this and again as our Scorcher. I
will
want
be
to
done.
check something.
Easy as gobbling pie.
Interesting. I can double it up. Use it for fireballs and Scorchers. And it'll only consume one charge.
I shall see to it.
Alright, well I think we've got another hallway of skeleton warriors up here. Yes. Just keep the mage out of there.
It shall attack!
It will be done.
At your command. I shall see to it.
May I help? I can do it.
It will be done.
I am on it.
Your life is forfeit.
in your blood.
God's grant thee strength.
Alright.
I am needed. I see.
So then take the rest of their armaments. So there weren't that many in this hallway, it was much smaller.
It shall be done.
Fortunately, because it's a nightmare to deal with a bunch of skeleton warriors. You don't get that much XP for them, and they feel like they're a lot of work to kill. Well, I think the only person without a belt is... yeah, you. Might as well. Weather of Resistance. So this is 15% on piercing and slashing, fire and electric. And plus 2 save versus spell. Basically the same thing, except better. Yeah. Plus 4 electric flail. And it stuns people. What's this thing do again? Well, it's a bunch of extra piercing. So it can do a maximum of 10 extra piercing damage. It can. This one stuns people half the time. It's plus 4 extra armor class. But it's also got 2d3 electric that it can whack them with 50% of the time. I think that's better. I think that's... Altogether, I think that ends up being more damage. Another reinforced large shield. Could you imagine if I still had my paladin using a shield? If I took this, negative 15.
It shall be done.
There it
My
is.
sword is yours. It shall be done. Aye.
Surely.
I am on it.
I can do it.
It will be done.
Wow, they all resisted it. That's not very good.
Very well.
Stand and deliver.
Wrong guy.
Aye. You can count on me.
What is this? Okay, that's what I thought.
It shall be done.
So,
well.
this is the final tomb where the 4 knights were buried. It is significant, because this is the object of our search. So you have to put the right story in the right tomb. None of them are named, so the way that you do this is pretty simple, so let's check. The yellowed page, although faded frayed at the edges, is surprisingly resilient, having the texture of leather. Despite the fact that it's written in an unknown script, the words on the page twist and shift as you read over them, translated into the common tongue in your mind. All of these are out of order, so I don't know the exact order that they are supposed to be read in. And it was then a hairy glass rose from its desert birth, and cresting around the azure worm like a storm, its wings beating like the sails of a mighty sea vessel, scouring the dust bowl with thousands of teeth, each a grain of sand swift and deadly. The fear that had gripped Lord Maluradek fell upon our hearts as well. With such weight we wished to turn our horses and flee with our lord to the east, to seek safety within the castle walls. But then came the crashing of the bravest of the watch knights, Gideon. His great sword ringing against his shield, the sound gave us pause and drowned out the roaring of the dragon and the wind. The clashing of metal beat a hymn to helm and courage filled our hearts. "To me, my brothers," he cried, "steel your hearts and raise your weapons. This beast shall not take us. Our lives for our lord." And thus, bolstered by Gideon's sword drum, we held fast as the beast looped into the sky. Circling our band, fear rained from its body, yet fell harmlessly upon us like drops of water. So, shield and sword. This one is Sir Gideon. There he is. You could do this by trial and error as well, but you're intended to do it by finding out what each one uses. The battle against Aheriglis grew long, and the sky turned bloody in the twilight as the Watch Knights fought on. Perhaps one extra blade would have saved their lives, but Lord Maluradek was not to be seen. Watch Knight Zerki was quick to dash in, strike a blow with his spear, then retreat, forcing the dragon to turn and attack, exposing his flank for the other knights. Even near exhaustion, Zerki fought on, fighting against time itself. Yet even against such a foe he persevered. No strength was wasted, not a drop of blood shed without purpose. As the knight fought on from high sun to lingering twilight, wearing out the dragon's strength, exhausting it while hoarding his own for one final strike against the beast. Only Watch Knight Giles was not deterred by a Herigla's sudden charge. Determined to shield Lord Maluradek's flight, he refused to give ground to the storming beast, and so it was, by keeping his wits about him, his keen eye saw another way the dragon might be undone. With the sun high above him and mace firmly in hand, he let the dragon's talons rake at his tabard, exposing his shining breastplate to the sun. Not a drop of blood was shed, such was the skill he had timed the swift dragon's speed. He turned so that the breast of his gleaming armor caught the sun and sent spears of the sun's rays into the dragon's eyes. Unprepared for the radiance, the lids of the beast snapped close, and his charge faltered, the beast blinded. And so, with his wits about him, Gilles brought his great mace down upon Heriglas' skull, drawing the first blood of the day. That was probably supposed to be read second. Mace. And lastly, and the third of the 4 Watch Knights fell, his spear planted in the ground against a Heriglas charge. The dragon's wings were as shreds. Its wounds were great, but the dragon knew the day was his. It turned upon the last of the warriors, Eris, the 4th Watch Knight. There were no other warriors to be seen, for Lord Maluradek had still not taken the field. Eris rushed in to strike, but was snatched up in the dragon's grip, and the creature's head reared back to bite the Watch Knight's head from his body. Yet a Heriglas had not counted on Eris's strength. Struggling against the dragon's grip, the Watch Knight cleaved through its neck with his mighty axe, the blade diving into the gap in the scales of the dragon's throat, left by numerous spear and sword wounds. With a mighty cry to Helm, he made 2 blows of one. He reversed his swing to catch the neck from the other side as the talons crushed at him, and there was a twin cracking like thunder as the knight's body snapped in the dragon's grip. And the dragon's head lolled from the neck like a felled tree, then collapsed to the ground, raising a cloud of sand across the storm barrows. A dragon's death matched with the death of 4 Watch Knights. What can be said of such a valiant battle? Only Lord Maluradek knows. He returned many hours after the field had fallen silent, but not a tear was shed for his fallen guards. His eyes swam only with gold and glory. The past is dust, was his eulogy to the corpses of the Watch Knights. The road ahead is a golden one. And that is that. The honor of the Watch Knights has been restored. Everyone is happy, except not really, because things only get worse from here.
Yes?
We must halt.
Understood.
Gain our strength.
All very basic equipment. Except that. Extra attack per round. Oh man, if I didn't already have the long swords, I did. That'd be pretty good. Chain lightning's pretty good. Yeah, let's go with that. Incendiary Cloud or some Malachrim. Both are nice. The problem with immediately suffer 1d4 points of fire damage per level of the caster, with no limit. So 16d4 fire damage from that thing? Oh yeah, we're taking that. Oh yeah, look up in the corner. I always see that. No idea what that's for. I think there's something about all the secret doors closing, and then if you got up there and clicked them, you could reopen them. That's the only guess I can come up with. I don't really know. I always found that weird. You only see it if you use the Explore Area command, which I do. Alright, so the first phase
I shall see to it.
of the Trials of the Lure Master has been completed. Now the castle gates are open. We've restored the glory of the Watch Knights. Now we have to expose the shame of Maluradek. and then discover the fate of the Lore Master himself.
You can count on me.
So he tells you that he has no choice but to serve it, that the Lore Master will kill him if he doesn't. He's lying. I mean, he might be true. He might be telling the truth about that. Frankly, I'm not sure the Lore Master could kill him. He's working for it. Like I said, he is not a person. He's a Rakshasa. And he's not alone either. There are several of them in this place. But we are the first ones to actually make it to the keep, to bypass that portion of the test. Of all the adventurers who have come and died. We are much higher level than I think we're supposed to be. I mean, 15 to 18. Oh, 14. It takes so long to level up now. Alright. Well, that is it for this one then. So we're heading into the keep next time. We should be able to get through the whole thing and then deal with Maluradek himself. And then probably get through all the dungeons. And then I think it would take one more episode to finish the castle entirely. And then get back to Lonelywood and keep on going. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Right, but that's all for this one. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.